Hello, hello, hello everyone. I'm back and I am super excited about November's podcast. My name is Christie Archer, for those of you that do not know, and I am of Christie Archer Designs. I am a knitwear designer and an avid knitter, and this is a mostly knitting podcast. Welcome back to all of my returning visitors. Thank you so much for coming back time and time again. I really appreciate it. And a huge thank you to new visitors. I hope you enjoy your stay here, and I would love to have you as returning visitors. I generally put out a podcast on the last Sunday of every month and share what I have been knitting and working on, some of my projects around the house and things like that. I am going to get started straight away. If you find that you have enjoyed this video, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in this type of content, please subscribe and make sure you click the bell so that you will know when I put out a new video and you can be the first to see. Okay. I am trying something new, I think, and if you can hear my dishwasher, I apologize. I am attempting to monetize my videos. I'm still learning how to do the placement and everything. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it at this point in with the number of subscribers that I have, or number of viewers that I have. I think I have a good many subscribers. But anyway, I'm trying that out. Hopefully it's not too annoying for you. If it's absolutely a deal breaker for you guys, let me know in the comment box below. Like I said, it's just something that I'm trying out to see if it can help supplement buying new equipment and things like that. So just wanted to give you a little heads up on that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm really excited about this, I am going to do Vlogmas this year. And I am going to go over some of my decorating in Vlogmas. I just wanted to do this real quick for my podcast. But I will be going over my going through the decorating process for the holidays and just life in general between here and Christmas. Yeah, I am excited and would love to have you come and visit with me and see what I'm up to this coming month, which is going to be a lot, I can tell you already. Now, I also wanted to do one more tiny bit of housekeeping, and that is to remind everyone that there is a cow going on. The 12 Weeks of Shawls cow started the 1st of November and it ends the last day of January, January 31st. So if you are interested, all you have to do is knit up one of my pattern designs, which, by the way, they are on sale until the last day of November, which, let me see what day that is. So that will be Tuesday. My patterns are on sale 50% off. All of my patterns. You just need to use the code SAVE50 early, and I'll pop that up here so you can see that, and I'll also pop the code in the description box below. Would love for you to take advantage of that while everything is on sale and participate in this cow, even if you don't have time to get into it before the holidays. If it's after the holidays, there's still plenty of time in the month of November because my shawl patterns are all basically one skein shawls on very large needles, so they knit up very quickly. And I'll be showing some of them today, so you can see some of the ones that are available, and then you can go to my website and check out the others. So I think that's it on housekeeping for right now. I do need to announce the winner for November's. You know what? I'm gonna wait and do that because that goes through the end of November. So I think I will wait and just do the winner announcement on Instagram. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, it's Christie Archer Designs, and I'll pop that up here. And you just need to use the hashtag 12 weeks of shawls Cal on Instagram. And that is that. I guess it's time to jump into all of the fun stuff, the stuff you're actually here for, right? I have been quite busy with knitting, and then of course I'm in the US and we had Thanksgiving this past Thursday, so I was quite busy with that as well. Even though we didn't have any out-of-town family or guests or anything, it was just my immediate family. It was still, you know, a lot to prepare for and everything. So, and it was a lot of fun. I hope all of you in the U.S., my viewers in the U.S., had a fantastic Thanksgiving holiday. And for everybody watching, I hope everybody is gearing up and excited about the holidays that we are going into now. Now we will go straight into whips, and I actually have 2 whips today. I'm going to start with a shawl that I'm making. It is one of my patterns for the next 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I'm going to be gift knitting every single day. I've never done gift knitting before. For the holidays, I've made things and gifted it away, but I've never done holiday gift knitting. So I'm really excited to do that this year, and I do have a pretty decent lineup. My first one is, and hopefully I don't think she watches, but the first pattern or the first project that I'm sharing is for my sister, and I am making it out of Palette. This is Knit Picks yarn. If you're unfamiliar, Palette is a fingering weight 100% Peruvian wool yarn, and it is so affordable. I'm thinking regular price is $3.99 for a 50-gram ball, and there are so many colors. This is not a sponsored podcast at all. I just really like Knit Picks Palette, and I thought this holly berry color, my sister has really dark hair, and this is just a color that is going to be stunning on her. I am so excited to gift this to her. So that's the yarn, and the project is being housed in one of my project bags. If you don't know, I'm also a project bag maker. That being said, I am not taking any more orders through the rest of this year because I am so busy with gift knitting. But if you're interested in my bags, I will have them up for sale again after the new year. All right, this is what I have started, and some of you returning viewers will probably recognize this is my all buttoned up pattern. And I really like the way all buttoned up shows up on solid yarn. You'll have to excuse my nails, they're in horrible shape. But the buttons really show up nicely on a solid yarn. And then I have drop stitches, and once this is blocked, those drop stitches really open up and just shine. And if you are not well, actually I have one to show. I started to say, if you're not familiar with All Buttoned Up, I'll pop a picture up, which I may go ahead and do that anyway, but I also have a finished one to share. So this is a gift knit for my sister, All Buttoned Up, and it is in Knit Picks palette yarn in colorway Hollyberry, and I love it. And I wasn't sure when I first bought this yarn if it was going to do well for these shawls. I was concerned about the drape of it, but it drapes beautifully. So I'm really excited because, like I said, there are so many gorgeous colors to choose from with that collection. All right, that is project number 1. And I have a fur visitor. You okay, princess? I have 2 fur babies, and one of them has been really sick. So that's another thing I've been really busy with. When one of my family members is sick, everything else just comes to a screeching halt. All right, my next project is being housed in one of my old project bags. I do not do this style anymore. It is quite extensive. The materials are quite expensive, and I felt like it was just a price point that most people were not too interested in putting into their project bags, which I get it. But there's a lot of work that went into these. All right. Elephant in the room. I will share this in a little bit, but the reason it reminded me is what I am wearing is the Ramona cardigan, and who is it by? Ramona cardigan is by, sorry, I'm pulling up the pattern. Elizabeth Smith Knits, and I am obsessed. So obsessed that I actually have cast on another one with one of my acquisitions. When it came in, I had to cast on immediately. All right, this is another Ramona cardigan, and I have definitely made some heavy modifications to this one. The first one, I did not make any modifications to, with the exception of my gauge was smaller, so I went up a size, and then I added a few more stitches under the arms to accommodate. But as far as the construction, I followed it to a T. I felt like it has you pick up the neckline after doing the body, and I kind of understand why, but it wasn't necessary. So on this one, because there is some serious neck shaping, but if you know how to do short rows, all I do is knit the neckband to the number of stitches that the pattern called for. Again, I had to adjust gauge for this. And then I just worked where it would say to cast on a certain number of stitches on that particular row. I would just work that number of stitches and turn it and do a German short row and work back. And I would just work back and forth and keep increasing my stitch count in the front so that it creates the neck shaping. I hope that makes sense. Okay, this is a top-down cardigan. And as you can see, you will pick up the band in the front, and then like I said, the pattern's written to pick up the front band. It is raglan shaping, which I'm kind of glad I'm actually showing this one too, because you're not going to be able to see a whole lot with the black. But it has knit front and back raglan shaping, which that's not something you see that often anymore. Most people, you know, are doing other, but it was a lot of fun the way it's done. Now, on this one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but there's actually a center stitch, and you're doing the knit front and back on each side of the center on the raglan stitch, and the raglan stitch is garter. When I was doing this one, I completely forgot that it was a garter stitch in between, and I just did it like normal. So I did mess that up. Not that it matters, it's still pretty, but I did like that bit of garter ridge going right down, because the hem of it is a broken rib. So it has, you know, your knit columns, and then it has a garter column, which I've actually done before on one of sweaters that cardigan that I just made out of my head kind of thing. And I had planned on writing a pattern for it and just never did. Okay, let me tell you about the yarn real quick. This is why I was so excited to cast this on. First of all, love the sweater. Second of all, I did, I'm sure most of you know, if you're familiar with Knit Picks, they've had a huge sale going on. And I decided to take advantage of the sale and try some yarns that I had never tried of theirs before. And I'm an avid Knit Picks shopper, but they have so many yarns. It would probably take me a lifetime to try all of them, honestly. But this one is called Snuggle Puff, and it is air. You literally, when I'm working on this, I cannot even feel it in my lap. It's ridiculously light. And not only is it ridiculously light, but this is cotton nylon. Cotton is a heavy yarn. If you have never knit with cotton, it is a heavy yarn. It's not as mind-blowing to find a lightweight wool yarn, because you've got all of the blown, all the different techniques that you can do to achieve a lighter weight wool yarn. I don't know what in the world they have done with this, but it is divine. And it is, I was trying to get the percentages, I think it was 70, yeah. It is 70% Pima cotton, and it is 30% nylon. And I got it in the colorway Fawn. Is that not? I just love this. I wear a lot of denim overalls, and I thought this with the denim overalls is just way, way, way too cute. So, Snuggle Puff, and it is an Aran worsted, heavy worsted. I'm actually getting, at a very open gauge, I'm getting 16 stitches per 4 inches, so 4 stitches per inch. You could easily get 18. You could probably, if you really wanted a dense fabric, you could probably even get 20 stitches easily. For my neckband, I had to majorly size down, because the way this yarn is, it just kept, the ribbing just kept looking really huge. It was very, very open and stretched out. So I'm knitting this, the body and everything, on size US 10, and I should know what that is in millimeters, but I don't I don't normally use larger needles, so I don't have those memorized in millimeters. And then I did the neck binding in a US 7. So I went down 3 needle sizes in order to get that. And I think it works really well. The 7 with the 10, I think it works really well. I cannot tell you, I cannot even express how light this is. It is something you just absolutely have to try. I'm really looking forward to wearing this. I'm going to get some more of this and just do some everyday top-down cardigans, not cardigans, sorry, raglan sweaters, like that sweatshirty style. I have made quite a few of those with the Bellish app, and back when I first started knitting, I used Bellish a lot. And but anyway, I'll probably just make up some of these top-down raglans for the winter months, because this is going to be an amazing piece to wear. It feels like, as far as the touch of it, it feels like the softest mohair. I mean, like down feathers. It is unbelievable. Cannot say enough good about this. It will be interesting to see how it washes. I did not block because I'm always afraid I'm going to run out of yarn, and this being a cotton nylon blend, the blocking should not change the gauge of it that much. If I were dealing with a wool, that'd be different. And if I were dealing with 100% cotton, that would be different, because 100% cotton shrinks so much in length. But I think with this being a cotton nylon blend, I'm gonna be okay on gauge. So that is whip number 2, and I am thoroughly enjoying that project. Okay, since my last podcast, I have finished up, sorry, I'm trying to get my my notes back up. I have finished a few things. I think some of these were in the process of, they were whips last time. One may be completely new. 2 may be completely new. 1 is definitely completely new. So we're gonna start with the newest all buttoned up. I finally got this knit up in a solid that shows the buttons and shows the, it shows all of the details of the shawl so beautifully. And I've gone back and redone the pattern with this, with pictures of this, so that it really shows the design. And this is it. For those of you that are not familiar, this is a top-down crescent shawl that is a 1 skein shawl, so it's 100 grams. And this particular one is made out of Knit Picks gloss, and Knit Picks gloss is just amazing. I don't have the yarn band with me. The color of this one is velveteen, I remember that. And these are in, let's see, I thought these were in 50 gram hanks. Okay, they are. Okay, so these are 50 gram hanks, so it would take 2 of these hanks to make this, and they are $7.99 a hank, and this is 70% merino wool and 30% silk. This is heaven. And after doing this pattern out of this yarn, I cannot recommend this yarn enough. If you are going to cast this on, give the Knit Picks gloss fingering a try. Like I said, the solid yarns versus the hand-dyed yarns really shows the details of this. And when you work hard to do all of these details, you really want them to show. This is 72-ish, let's see, yep, 72, probably a little bit more than that. It may be 76 inches wide, and it has about a 14-inch drop to it. I have a video out on how to block this and to get this gorgeous shape to it. And it is in my YouTube feed, and it is also, a link is provided in the pattern. I highly recommend using this blocking method. Otherwise, you will not get the size. This takes aggressive blocking in order to achieve this size and to get the beautiful drape that you do from this pattern. All buttoned up, Knit Picks gloss fingering and colorway velveteen. All right, next one. I'm so excited about this. So for the 12 weeks of Shawl Cow, this was my first cast on, and I am in love with this yarn. Okay, I'm on Knit Picks, might as well just pull it up again. Okay, oh, this yarn is divine. This is a dash of that. Oops, I've got a tail woven in, and I like to leave long, even after I snip. I probably need to snip that one a little bit more. It's still a little bit too long, but anyway, this is a dash of that pattern, and it is a top-down triangular shawl. And I have done this one out of Knit Picks Alpaca Cloud Fingering. And this is colorway Anna. And the heathered black is colorway Carson. And if I were to knit me, this would be me. Colors, style, design, everything about this is so me. I did make an alteration to this one from the original pattern, and I'm pretty sure I have rewritten the pattern. I know I've rewritten it. I think I have sent the new version out to everyone. I may have only uploaded it to Knit Picks website, the newest version. I will be, if you have purchased this pattern, you will be getting the update if you have not already. It ends with a 2x2 rib. In the original, it was a modified crescent triangular, and by that I mean it was done with the triangular increases, but the hem on it was a crescent, so there were no center increases to give that pointed triangular shape. That pointed triangular shape. So I went back and wrote the instructions for this version as well. And the original one did not have the contrast hem. That was why I didn't do the increased hem, because it wouldn't have had enough yarn with one hank to get a wide enough border. So this one takes 2 hanks of the Alpaca Cloud Fingering in the main color, and then if you choose to do the contrast hem, you will need another hank, because they're 50-gram hanks, so you would need another for the hem. If you chose to do the hem out of your main color, you could just use scraps for the dashes. Okay, so that is this beauty. I'm so thrilled with this. That color of blue, I like a real cool color of blue. And as you guys know, if you're not new here, you know I love black. All right, on to the next one. This one I think was a whip the last time you saw it. Or maybe I didn't show it at all. I cannot remember, but I'm pretty sure it was a whip last time. This one is called the Parke Shawl, P-A-R-K-E. And this one is made out of yarn from Hole in the Wool, who has recently changed her name to, I love the new name, I just can't remember it. Let's see, was it, no, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, let's see. Yes, okay, so she has changed her name to Yarn Nouveau. Sorry, you're getting my ring light. So Hole in the Wool is now Yarn Nouveau. On Instagram, it is still Hole in the Wool. I'm not sure if her website, no, her website has been changed to Yarn Nouveau. So it is yarnnouveau.com. Alicia has just, she has my heart when it comes to hand-dyed yarns. Okay, Hole in the Wool, this is the Parke Shawl, and the reason it is named the Parke is because Alicia named the green colorway here that she gave me, she named that the Parke. So this is a sponsored pattern by Alicia of now Yarn Nouveau, and it is, sorry, it is a triangular shawl top down, and it has some fun color work, stranded color work, which I'm trying to find a section where you might be able to see it a little bit better. It blends beautifully, and I love that. Some of my knitters used more contrasty yarn, and you can tell that these are a 1x1 stitch, so you've got one of contrast color 1 and then one of contrast color 2, and it's like that on the first row of the color work. So there's 6 rows of color work. So even though it's front and back color work, there are only 6 rows, and they are super easy. And then on the second row, it's contrast color 1, contrast color 2, but they're reversed from the row above. And yeah, and then it has, of course, a beautiful wide 2x2 rib. Again, this is a one skein wonder with just tiny bits of scrap yarn. I wanted to, the purpose behind all of these designs was to give people something to do with all of those special one skeins that you have in your stash, and then something for all of those little scraps that we don't want to get rid of because they're just too pretty. Put those together and make up a quick little shawl that you can knit in no time. These are fantastic for gift knits. If you don't know what to knit for gifts this year, take advantage of this 50% off. You can pick up a pattern for $2.50, whip these up in a couple of days time, and I'm sure the recipient will be so ever grateful. So the Parke is not actually, has not been released yet. I had some setbacks with testers, and then the holidays hit. So I actually think that I'm going to wait until January to release the Parke and the next one that I'm getting ready to show, which I've already shown before. I think I'm gonna wait and release those in January once chaos has kind of leveled back out, because I really want those to get their time in the spotlight. If you want the pattern before that, let me know. They have both been tested and are ready to release. I was just going to hold off on release date. So if you see either one of these that you would really like to purchase for gift knitting or for the cowl or whatever, just contact me and I can sell it to you. It's not a problem. The next one I have shown before, but I went back and redid the hem. I had mentioned the last time I showed it, the hem was not right. So I went back and redid the hem and I wanted to show it again. This one is called Out Stranding. And again, this is a stranded color work project. If you know enough about mosaic knitting, you could do slip stitches with both of these and create the same thing. You would just end up knitting those particular rows twice. But if you absolutely did not want to do the stranded knitting, you could most definitely do this with mosaic if you prefer. Okay, another top-down triangle, and it has this beautiful textured, look at that, that's a good shot of it. Has this gorgeous texture to the body of it. And then when you get down here, you have these fun stranded stripes that are also textured to mimic the texture that's going on up here. So the texture just blends right in. Now, when I made this one, this was the sample. There is, because of the way I did it the first time, there is on mine one extra row of stockinette. In the pattern, I have omitted that extra row. So it literally just blends right in. There is no break in the texture. The only break you get is in these little blips of color. And there are 9 rows of color. So again, have fun with scrap yarn, and this is a 1 skein shawl, and then you would need a good portion. I think I give, I think the grams on the hem for this one was like 30 grams, or you could use a mini. This is another great use for all of your advent calendars. Oh, this would make up so beautifully with advent calendars. I was gonna see how many grams was needed for the hem. Okay, so somewhere around, you can, depending how wide you want it, but this here, I used 35 grams of yarn to get this width, and this is a seed stitch. In the pattern, I also provide tips and a link to getting a neater seed stitch. So if you are like me, I always struggled with seed stitch because the stitches were never even. And after much research and everything, I discovered how to repair that. So I now have nice, even seed stitches, and I'm so thrilled and wanted to share that bit of knowledge with you as well. This is a fun pattern to knit up. The texture is very easy once you get it established. Even establishing it is easy, just follow the rows, but once you have, let's see how many rows it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, I was thinking about another one of my patterns. This one's only a 4-row repeat, so super easy. I've got another one that's like 8 or 12 rows to establish the repeat. But anyway, Out Stranding, and again, this is Hole in the Wool. The main color for this one was it parchment? did I use? It's on my project page. I'll put a link to my Ravelry project pages. All of the colors and everything are listed in there on on all of my patterns, or on all of my projects. Words. Okay, that is, oh no, I have a few more FOs. I told you I've been busy. I decided, because I didn't have near enough stuff on my plate, I decided to take on some test knitting for a couple of other designers. And as you guys know, for my returning viewers, I am not much of a sock knitter, but I have had requests for socks for Christmas this year. And I actually had them last year as well, but I'm just not a sock knitter. So Judy of the Autumn Acorn had a testing call up for her Magic Heel socks, which I've seen those, and I always thought there's no way that's going to be comfortable across the, excuse my toes, across the bend of your foot. You need that extra yarn to accommodate for the heel. Well, she had a test call out for, these are, and I think they're being released December 1st, but don't quote me on that. She has these worsted weight cabled Magic Heel socks. They looked so stinking cute. I am definitely popping some pictures up here of the pictures that I got of mine. I kind of went overboard with the pictures. I've never shot socks before. They were so much fun to shoot. So I definitely went overboard. Okay, on to the actual test knit. I used Hobby Lobby's I Love This Wool yarn, and I really liked it. I've never used it before, but I wanted to use, she recommends 100% non-superwash wool. And like I said, I don't normally do a lot of heavier knitting, but between these socks and this cardigan, I think I've been converted for now, at least for a little bit. Okay, on to the sock. So this, and I don't have sock blockers. I don't knit socks, so I've never bought them. So I just used my knitting, blocking combs and blocked them into shape. So they're not as nice of a shape as they would probably be blocked on actual sock blockers, but they fit like a dream. I am so excited. And I will say that a lot of that has to do with the fact that this cabling has a shorter row gauge than the stockinette. And so it naturally kind of creates this curve to it, not much, but just enough. And so after doing these, well, and let me first tell you my little knitting debacle with these. It was not pattern related at all. This was completely me. The pattern is written. I don't know if she's going to change this, but the way I tested it, it was written for double pointed needles. I do not do double pointed needles. I did magic loop. It was a little confusing for me, but I believe she's going back and adding instructions for magic loop. So I will say that up front. Second thing, I had, let me think how this worked out. I knit up, oh, I remember. Okay, so I knit up a portion of it and was not happy with my ribbing and realized I was in such a hurry to get these started. I was so excited about it that I did not do a technique with my ribbing that I normally do. And so I ripped back and started again. The first time I knit the little tiny bit, I knit them on size US 8 needles, which is what the pattern calls for. And I thought, I want them a little bit snugger. So when I went back to knit it again, I did US 7 and got this sock, and I love the way it fits. It is a little more snug than I would have cared for. Though I did get gauge, that's what it was. I wasn't getting gauge on the 8, so I had to go down to a 7, which is highly unusual because I'm normally bang on with needle size, if not just the slightest bit of a tighter knitter. So for me to have to go down a needle size was definitely unusual. But I did get gauge. I decided that it was a little bit more snug than I wanted. No. It was a little more snug, but not so much. And my thought was the next time I'm going to try the US 8. So a couple of days had passed between that sock and me casting on the next one. I completely forgot that I had knit this one in a size 7. I cast the second one on with a size 8. So there is a difference in sock. Which I'm okay with, because what I'm going to do is go back and get another hank of this yarn, and my daughter is in love with these. I'm gonna make up another sock with the size US 7 needle, and then I'm gonna make up another sock in the US 8, give her the 7s, and me and I'm saying 7s, these are not size 7 socks. These are the extra small size, which I think is for, let's see, come on. Let's see what the, sorry. Okay, the Cabled Heel Magic Sock size extra small is for US shoe size 4 to 6.5. And I am a 5.5 to a 6. My daughter is both a 5.5 to a 6, but she's a lot skinnier than me. So she will do great with the 7s, and then US 7 needles, and I'm gonna redo the US 8 needles, and we will both have a pair of these gorgeous socks. Now, with all of that blah, 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 I decided I was playing around with that concept. And like I said, I have quite a few sock gift knits to knit up. The cables are obviously a little more time consuming. So I wanted to come up with something that was still simple, because I don't have anybody's foot to measure. And that's the great thing about these socks, is you don't have to have a foot to measure. As long as you know an approximate shoe size, you're good to go. So I was playing around with the concept, and I was like, I want something that's going to be a little bit faster to knit, but I also wanted something that the top portion of the leg, or the front portion of the leg, would have a shorter row gauge than the stockinette or whatever I decided to use back here. That said, I came up with a design that I'm in love with. And not only am I in love with the way it fits, I love the way it looks. I am so excited. I want to share it with you. If you guys like this, I'm going to write this up as a pattern. It is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I knit these up with undyed yarn, thinking I'll just dye the socks afterwards, because I wasn't sure how much yarn was going to be required. I did want to make these as more along the ankle length instead of the tall ones, For me, they're just more comfortable. Though I do like the tall ones and they're cute as a button, I just push them down. I'm going to show you the sock first, and then I'm going to put it on my foot and share it with you. Okay, this has not been blocked. These are straight off the needles, so the stitches are not pristine and all of that, but this is the design that I came up with. These have not been blocked. Look, it has, without an actual heel flapping gusset or magic loop or German short row heel or afterthought heel or anything, it naturally has the shape of a foot. What more can you ask for? So this is, and what I was thinking is, if you guys think anyone else would have any interest in this, what I'm going to do is come up with a fingering weight version, a sport weight version, a DK weight version, and a worsted weight version. Okay, this is odd, isn't it? Let me see if I can get it up here. But look at how cute that is. And look, I can bend my foot. There's absolutely no pull in this area from around this way because, first of all, I've got the 2x2 rib here, and the garter is actually wider in stitch, so there's less stitches per inch than the 2x2 rib, obviously, and it's shorter. So because of those two attributes of the two different types of stitches used, it naturally creates this shape. Can you believe this? They're so comfortable. So this is what my family will be getting for Christmas this year, the ones that have requested socks. I have a couple of other items to make as well, but I'm going to dye up yarn. Oh, and this is Aran weight yarn. So Aran heavy worsted, whatever. And this took less than 1 hank to do. I love them. I absolutely love them. I did recently purchase, and this will be after the new year, I did recently purchase Julianne the Knitter's DK sock pattern. What is it called? The actual name of it. And I am excited to try those as well. Perfect DK weight socks, and they just look adorable. Oh, Julianne the Knitter, her designer name is Twin Stitches Designs. I'll put all of this in the description box below. Okay, these to me I think are a game changer. These to me are stunning on. Again, I'm gonna pop pictures. The pictures are just, you'll see, these socks are gorgeous on. And I will definitely be making more of these myself. I've gotten to where, for those of you that don't know, we have moved to Southern California in the desert, and I have mostly hardwood floors. And my feet can get chilly here. I never dealt with that in Florida. So yeah, I can see me as becoming a little bit of a sock knitter. I don't think I'll become obsessed, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. Are you an obsessive sock knitter? If so, what is your favorite yarn size? Do you have a favorite pattern? This is a whole new journey for me, so please talk to me below. In the comment box, or leave me a comment and talk to me about your sock journey. Are you like me? Were you like completely not a sock knitter? Do you think you could ever be converted? I'm interested to see if anybody else is like me, if yeah, I'm excited about my sock knitting journey. The beginning of it. It is actually very, very fun. Okay, I have one last FO, and I know that's a lot of FOs. I apologize. This one is a monster of a project. This is once again a test knit, and this was a test knit for FogBound Knits. If you have been a long-time viewer, you've heard me talk of FogBound Knits before. I have quite a few of FogBound knit patterns. I love the way FogBound knit patterns fit. They are beautiful. She put out a test call. It's Laura, and Laura put out a test call, and I saw this and I was like, this is so my daughter. So I showed it to Fairy, and she was like, yes, please. She's getting this for Christmas. It is, like I said, a monster of a project. So I'm actually going to stand up and show it to you. And then while I'm at it, I will show you my Ramona cardigan. So yeah, here we go. All right. And getting the color just right and showing you is going to be a little bit tough, but hopefully, and I do not have pictures of this yet, otherwise I would pop them on the screen, but I've got to take my daughter out to do pictures. So this is her cardigan. Oh, it's my cardigan keeping it from showing. It has this beautiful fringe, and this is a long cardigan. And I'm sorry, hopefully you guys can still see me talking. I tried not to hide my face as much as possible, but this cardigan is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It has this huge fold over collar. I did make some modifications. I asked Laura if it was okay. I wanted all of my ribbing to be a lot more substantial. Her ribbing on all of the places that have ribbing, she had them more like 1 inch, and I went back and did like 2 to 3 inches depending on where they were placed. I'm going to talk about this some more in just a minute, but I wanted to quickly go ahead and show you the Ramona cardigan. And it is a button-up crew neck collar. The beauty of this is the hem. And again, oh, I'll have to show that next time. I'll pop up a picture. Sorry. I'll pop a picture up of the hem detail because that's what makes this cardigan. It's just gorgeous. Okay. Now, details about this, and I do not know the release date of this one. I'm sure she'll announce it on Instagram. Just watch out for it, and I'll probably share pictures on release date if I get the pictures in time. Okay, I do not have, it has a buttonhole up at the top, and it will button, you know, on the other, because it's like a double-breasted. Okay, and then it's so hard to get this collar to show without it being on somebody. And my black cardigan's not helping matters any either, but I used, she recommends Knit Picks Simply Wool, Aran heavy worsted. I can't remember. I'll pop that information in the description box below. But for my daughter, she has really, really, really sensitive skin. So I decided to use acrylic for her, and this is Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee. I should know what this is. Again, I have a project page for this that you are welcome to check out for all of the notes, yardages, and everything. Soft and Sleek Solid. I have used this for her before. They have many different sizes, weights of this yarn, and I've used it quite a few times for her. It does not pill. It's amazing. She has sweaters that she has worn over and over and over and over and over again. No pilling. We throw them in the washing machine. We hang them to dry. Sometimes we even toss them in the dryer for a little bit. This one has been blocked. I'm not a huge acrylic fan, but I'm not adverse to it either. And it's very economical, especially when you shop on Hobby Lobby's 30% off sale that they do every other week. I did have to go back and heavily, gently on a very low setting, iron the tassels because they were very wrinkly. The yarn just would not, even with wetting and blocking, the tassels were just a mess. So I did spend a lot of time getting these tassels to look good, but this is a fantastic, this is just a gorgeous pattern. It was a beast for me to knit. I kept thinking this thing is never going to end. Some people said they didn't have any problems with it. I will say, at this gauge, this yarn was not enjoyable to knit with, and I think that's why I struggled with it. As far as the knitting, it looks beautiful, and the color is such a neat color. But I did not enjoy knitting that yarn at that gauge. I've used this exact yarn before, but on a much larger gauge, and it was a lot easier to work with. This gauge was a little bit too tight for this particular yarn. And the crazy thing about it is the gauge for this is, what was the gauge? I don't remember. It was like, I think it was 15 stitches per 4 inches. Pretty big gauge. This is supposed to be a worsted weight that you can get 18 stitches per 4 inches. There's no way. You could do it, but it would be an absolute struggle every stitch. I even considered washing the yarn before moving any further, pre-washing it, rewinding it, and knitting from there, because I think it just had too much sizing in it. And maybe it was just this color. Maybe the other colorways wouldn't be that bad. I don't know. I just know that I definitely struggled with the knitting because of the yarn. But at that gauge, it should just fly off the needles, you know? All right, that is it for my FOs. Have I worn you guys out yet? Okay, I do have some dream knitting. I had a while back purchased a pattern, and for some reason, I have yet to make it up. Oh, one other thing, I'll show this first. I just recently purchased this pattern, and this is for my daughter. She wants this for Christmas. So I am making that up. That is one of my Christmas knits, and this is called, well, let me try again. Show the name, The Winter Chill. And that is just, it's a cape. It's a top-down raglan. You don't really, what is so cute about it is it has this optional attached cowl, and it has a hoodie. That's what sold my daughter. Fairy loves hoodies. So this is by Grace Rose Design. So that is knitting that I will be doing very soon. Dream knitting, once all this Christmas knitting is behind me, I am finally going to cast on something that I bought this past summer. This is the Thea top, and to me it is just the perfect shell. Nice little tank top. You can make it out of, she's made it out of a cotton linen blend, but I think I'm going to do a wool cotton blend and try that out. And the, let's see, I was trying to see, okay, it's by Paula Strict. I'll show her information. And I'll put that down below as well. I definitely want to get quite a few of those knit up, and I tell you why. I know we're in the summer, the winter months, but for me, those kind of things can be worn year round because it's just exactly like this. Sorry, you don't want to see my bra strap. It's just a shell that can go under my overalls. It can go under my cardigans with my leggings, which is, both of those are the most common ways I wear those. So I'd like to make up quite a few of those in all different colors. That's going to be a wardrobe staple for me. So that's some dream knitting that I have. Oh, I left all of my books. I have, if you don't mind, give me just a moment. Sorry about that. I keep forgetting to show these. A while back, a couple of months ago, I thought, I don't have a knitting book collection, and I really need to start a knitting book collection. And it started with the shawls. I really wanted some of the stitch dictionaries. And so the first one that I bought, I got from Barnes & Noble, and I do have another one of these books that I actually got from, it's one of the Japanese knitting stitch dictionary things. I got one from Joanne a year or so ago, and I love it. So anyway, I got this one, and it is just filled with amazing, 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 anything and everything. It even has crochet stitches in the back. It has a good section. Let's see. Okay, so the crochet section starts, which I'm not a crocheter, but who knows, maybe that's something else I'll pick up. So this whole back section is a bunch of crochet stitch, and it's just, I could never get through all of the stitches. Well, I was having so much fun with that I thought, I want to find some more. But I don't have the money to invest in a bunch of these books because they are quite expensive. Well, I started looking for this book in particular, and it is an out of, it's no longer being printed. It's an out of print book. And so I started looking around for it and discovered this place called Better World Books. BetterWorldBooks.com. Again, I'll leave that in the description box below. They have new books, used books. They have anything and everything. One thing they're really, I've been getting a lot from them is their books that they get that have been donated by the libraries. And it's such a good cause. Not only are you saving the world from excess paper and all of that, but also the company Better World Books helps helps combat illiteracy with donating books and helping people learn to read and things like that. So it is such a great cause. We do a lot of our book shopping through Amazon, And I love the convenience of Amazon, but I told my kids, I think we're gonna start buying all of our books through betterworldbooks.com because it's such a good cause. Yeah, we may have to wait a little bit longer to receive them because we won't be using our Amazon Prime, but to me, it's worth the wait in order to give back to the world in some small way, you know? Oh, here's a sticker they gave me. So, buy books, do good. I like that. I like that a lot. So this was the book that I was looking for, and that's how I discovered Better World Books, because they had a copy of it. And this is Knit and Purl. And it's just a 250 stitches to knit. If you like this, I'm going to flip through it real quick. Go on to Better World Books. Their inventory is constantly changing, so just keep a watch on it, and you'll eventually find this book again. But it is a knitting stitch dictionary once again, and it just has tons of stitch. I mean, I love the garter slip stitch feet. Let's see. Seemed like all of the ones that I liked were knit in white, and it wasn't because it was white, though I do love white. But these are just great resources if you have just a plain sweater or something that you're working on and you want to add a little bit of interest. Knitting stitch dictionaries are just the best. So I bought this one, and while I was at it, I also got Color Knitting the Easy Way. And you can tell this was once a library book. It has the barcode scan thing. This is mosaic knitting. So a bunch of different, and it has color theory. If you're interested in color theory, I knew that from back in I went to, first of all, before I ever graduated high school, I graduated trade school while I was still going to high school. So my background, for those of you that do not know, is cosmetology, and color theory is something that you have to know in cosmetology as well. So, but color has been something that I've always been into. So anyway, color theory comes easy to me. But for those of you that are new to color theory, it goes in depth. It has a really good section on color theory. And then it has all of these. I was going to try to get just these super fun slip stitch patterns and all of the instructions. I wanted to show you some of my favorites. All of these that you see here are in the book. Hold on. I mean, they've got so many cute things in here. I'm excited to, and I've already added some of these things to some of my patterns, but I will definitely be adding more. And it even gives patterns in here, like you get a pattern for the baby jacket, or there's an adult cardigan sweater, and there's a kid's sweater. So they have, there's gloves, and let's see, there was the adult. It's a zip up hoodie jacket, sweater. That's really cute. It has a man's sweater. It has a pocketbook. Look at some of these. Aren't those gorgeous? Let's see. No, that wasn't one. One that I wanted to show. I'm coming close. Really, really close. Oh, okay. This is one that I like a lot. I think that is so pretty. I just love that. There's another one. Oh, there's the other one. And they both have a similar vibe, but I really like those. It is filled with amazing, that one's really cool. amazing stitches. Just so neat. So that one I got as well. And then this one I got, it's okay. It's not horrible, but it's not revolutionary or anything like that. It's a little more on the basic side, but this was the Vogue Knitting Stictionary, and these are I think there's 4 different ones, and volume 1 is Knit and Purl. They also have like cables and color, what are the ones? They have like 4 different ones. I can't remember. This one's good. It's just not as good. And I'm gonna have to, this one's a hardback, so I'm gonna have to flip through this way. Oh, lace, I think, is one of the other ones that they had. So this one has a little bit of lace in it, little bit of cabling. I wish it had been all knit and purl, because that's what I thought I was getting. That is the only thing I will say about Better World books, is that it does not give you a preview. So I have found that I'll go on the internet, most of the time Amazon, and look up the book there and look through the preview and see if it's what I want, because all it gives you, if you're lucky, is the front cover. And it'll tell you how many pages and who the publication was through and all of that. Okay, so those are some books that I got. And like I said, I got those a few months ago. I just keep forgetting to share them with you. I love books. I'm an avid book reader. I love inspirational books that have lots of pretty photos and things like that. What is your favorite knit-related book? I definitely would love to hear that, because I would love to start adding to my collection. I also have oh my goodness, what is her name? I've shown it on the podcast before. The knitwear designer. She is just amazing. I have one of her books. I want to get a few more of those. I have found, though, that I'll put the name of the book up here. I cannot remember the name of it. It is a book of patterns, and I have found that I cannot knit from the book. So I'm going to have to take it and have it digitized, because yeah, I need it on my computer, on my iPad to knit from it. I like to make highlights and notes and, mark where I am and all of that. And I can do that on my iPad. I can't do it in a book, and the book's constantly flopping closed and all of that. So I am going to have that digitized. They don't offer a digital version, which to me is just crazy. But maybe one of these days they'll join the 21st century and have their books digitized. Okay, last. As you guys know, if you are a returning viewer, I am not one to do a lot of excess yarn shopping. But when Knit Picks they started the big, huge sale, like I said, I wanted to take advantage and try some of the yarns that I had never tried before, and I am so glad that I did. And let me preface this with, Knit Picks customer service is phenomenal. They're off the charts amazing. I had originally placed an order. Somehow or the other, they ended up shipping to one of my old addresses. I was devastated. So I called them when I realized what happened. Long story short, they were going to immediately reship my package. issue came up, and they called me back and said one of the yarns that I had ordered was no longer in stock, and they were going to wait. They were going to give me 24 hours to call back and, you know, tell them how I wanted it handled. And if they did not hear back from me within 24 hours, they were just going to go ahead and ship what they did have and just refund me for the difference. So I didn't get the message until like 3 days later, and I was like, well, they've already shipped it, no big deal. I'll just take, you know, what I get and take the refund. And so I waited a few days, and then I went back and checked, and on the order, it still hadn't shipped. So I contacted them and just explained to them what happened. They overnighted my order. I was blown away. Knit Picks, everybody should have that kind of customer service. I wish you could go out. We had a horrible experience with Samsung. Literally a 3-month ordeal over them. We received a lemon of a washing machine. Their customer service was horrific. And when I had that amazing experience from Knit Picks, I thought, I've got to share that. I mean, I've always shopped Knit Picks. I'm always praising Knit Picks. But when they provide that kind of service, they deserve the recognition. So good for you, Knit Picks. All right, on to the fun stuff. Sorry for my little soapbox rant. My first order, and most all of these I got in sweater quantities. I'm just going to show one of each. But when I made this shawl, when I made this shawl out of their Simply Alpaca, I fell so in love with this yarn. So I decided to give their Simply Alpaca yarn a try, and I am not disappointed. Now this is an Aran weight. It is 246 yards. It doesn't give the meterage, in 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces. I don't think it says meters anywhere. It's 100% superfine alpaca, and it is yummy. I absolutely love it. I got it in colorway Elena, and it's just a beautiful natural cream color. Sweater, cardigan, something's being made out of this. Okay. The next colorway I got, same yarn, Simply Alpaca, and I got it in Alexa. I can't say it loud because she'll go off. Every time I've talked about it, she goes off. So anyway, this is a beautiful black gray heather, which I love heathers. Heathered yarns to me are, if I could choose just one type of yarn to use, it would be heathered. I also like tweed. Okay, I did buy some more Tried and True palette. I did get them in, I got 2 of them in new colorways. I got Palette Cream, and I got 2 of these to use with all of the other palette yarns. I think I showed those, I've showed those on one of my podcasts. If not, I showed them on an unboxing. So I got these to use to go with some of the other colors. I did pick up some more of the Asphalt Heather, because again, you can't go wrong with a heather, and you can't go wrong with black. I use this a lot as accents. And then this is a colorway in the palette collection that I have wanted from the beginning. I do not know why it has taken me this long to order this colorway. I do know a couple of times I went to order it, it was out of stock, so it must be a popular colorway, but I'm so glad I finally got it. This is called Bluebell, and for some reason it's showing up as a purple. It is actually blue. It is a beautiful, cool, grayish baby blue. Medium blue. It's not baby blue. I'm so excited to have this. I want all the things knitted in this color. Okay, then I got a new to me yarn that I am super excited about, and I think the shell that I showed, what was the name of it again? I've got the pattern, Thea. The Thea top, I'm pretty sure it requires a DK, and this is going to be, I was trying to see the gauge for it. Gauge 20 stitches. So yeah, I should be good with this. This is DK Kindred. And again, I just love this blue. Now this one is called Saltwater. But what is amazing about this is, I got glasses. I'll be able to see now, yay! For those of you that do not know, I have been struggling with my sight. I should have cleaned these. Oh my goodness. Dirty glasses. Hopefully that's clean enough for me to see. All right. Oh my goodness, I can see myself on the screen. I didn't realize I couldn't see myself on the screen either. Okay, this is 68% baby alpaca, 32% Peruvian Pima cotton. Oh my gosh. Now, this again is the saltwater color. This is the one, I had ordered it in 2 colors and they didn't have the other color. So I exchanged it for this color. And it is called Cargo, which is a gorgeous, I thought from the website it looked brown, but it is a olive green color. I don't know if it's showing up. It's not focusing, but you may be able to see the color. Let's see. It's doing funky things. Okay, this is Cargo, and I'm really excited about this. I was not expecting the color to be green, but as you guys know, I love greens. I love green. So I didn't even realize I was wearing green. So this is going to be something. I got enough for a sweater quantity before I thought about the Thea. So I may end up going ahead and just doing a sweater out of both of these and then buying some more later to do the Thea top. But that is it for Yarn Haul, Happy Mail, as I like to call it. I've gone over books. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it.